What if I told you that right now, someone could be controlling your emotions without you even realizing it? They could be your friend, your partner, a family member, even someone you trust completely. And the truth is, they may not even know they're doing it. It's that subtle, that quiet, and that dangerous. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, warned about people who use unconscious tactics to steer your thoughts, feelings, and even your sense of self. In this video, we'll uncover his exact advice for spotting emotional manipulation and breaking free from it forever. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee the signs. Let's begin. Here's what we'll cover. First, we'll reveal how manipulation hides in plain sight, often disguised as love, loyalty, or care. Second, we'll break down the 3 most common tactics manipulators use to keep you under their influence. And finally, we'll walk step by step through Jung's method for freeing yourself from their control, even if cutting them out completely isn't an option. By the end, you'll know the signs to look for, the patterns to break, and the exact mindset shift that makes emotional manipulation powerless against you. So if you've ever felt trapped in someone else's expectations, guilty for wanting independence, or unsure why you can't say no, this video is for you. Jung believed the most effective manipulation is the kind you don't recognize as manipulation at all. It's not always someone yelling orders or demanding obedience. It's the quiet sigh when you disagree, the just joking comment that still stings, the story they tell that paints you as selfish for wanting your own path. He wrote that the most dangerous form of influence is the one you mistake for love or loyalty, because you willingly let it in. And once it's inside, it shapes your choices without you even noticing. Manipulation isn't always malicious. Sometimes it's born from fear, insecurity, or a deep need to control. But Jung warned, intentional or not, the result is the same. You lose the ability to decide for yourself. The first tactic Jung often described could be called the mirror trick. Here's how it works. The manipulator only reflects back to you the parts of yourself they approve of. They reward certain behaviors with praise, attention, or affection, and ignore or punish others. Over time, you start editing yourself to fit the reflection they want to see. You stop expressing opinions they won't like. You avoid actions they won't praise. And without realizing it, you're no longer living for your own truth. You're living for their approval. Jung believed this was especially dangerous because it doesn't feel like control. It feels like love. But in reality, it's shaping you into a version of yourself that isn't yours. The second tactic is the emotional hook. This is when someone uses guilt, fear, or pity to pull you back into their control. It can be as direct as, "If you really cared, you'd do this for me," or as subtle as a disappointed look that says, "You've let me down." Jung compared this to a fisherman's hook. Once it's in, every little tug draws you closer. The more you react emotionally, the more control they have. Why? Thoughtful. Because your decisions are no longer based on logic, they're based on avoiding the pain they create. The key to spotting the hook is noticing when your actions are driven more by fear of losing someone than by genuine desire to do what's right for you. The third tactic is the cage of belonging. This is when someone convinces you that your worth, your safety, or your identity depends on staying in their circle. It's the family member who says, "We take care of our own. Don't forget that." Or the friend who makes you feel like leaving the group means betraying them. Jung warned that humans have a primal fear of exile. We're wired to stay connected to our tribe for survival. Manipulators exploit this, making the cost of independence seem unbearably high. The cage is invisible, but you feel it every time you consider making a choice that might upset them. The fear isn't about the choice itself. It's about losing the place they've made you believe you need. So how do you break free? Jung believed the first step is to name the pattern. The moment you can call it manipulation, instead of loyalty, love, or duty, you break its spell. This doesn't mean confronting them right away. It means acknowledging the reality in your own mind. Because once you name it, your brain begins to treat it differently. You stop automatically justifying their actions and start questioning them. Jung often said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Naming the pattern is the moment you take it out of the shadows and into the light where you can deal with it. The second step is to reclaim your inner authority. This is the part of you that decides what's right for you without needing anyone's permission. Manipulation works because it convinces you that someone else knows what's best for you. Jung's advice? Take back that role. This means getting comfortable with people not liking your decisions. It means letting go of the need to explain every choice. And it means trusting that your worth isn't dependent on someone else's approval. When your inner authority is strong, emotional hooks lose their grip. The puppet strings are still there, but you're no longer attached to them. Finally, limit emotional access. You can't always cut manipulators out. Sometimes they're coworkers, relatives, or longtime friends. But you can decide how much influence they have over your emotions. This might mean not sharing your deepest fears with someone who's proven they'll use them against you. It could mean keeping certain conversations short and neutral. Or it might mean physically distancing yourself when you know they're trying to provoke a reaction. Think of it as building a firewall around your mind. They can knock on the door all they want, but you decide if, when, and how you let them in. Breaking free from emotional manipulation isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming the space in your mind that belongs only to you. When you can spot the mirror trick, the emotional hook, and the cage of belonging, when you can name the pattern, reclaim your authority, and limit their access, you stop reacting to their control and start living your own story. Carl Jung's reminder is clear. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. That journey starts the moment you refuse to let anyone else write your script. If you found this valuable, share it with someone who might need these words. And for more wisdom from Jung and other great minds, subscribe. Your next breakthrough might just be one video away.